Hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Definitely want to welcome you to Johnny Quantum After Dark. You know what I'm saying? It's oh man, let me tell you. Today is, of course, Johnny Quantum's solar return, aka birthday. T folks in the building. What's going on, everybody? Um, Look, today has definitely been an interesting day. Your boy turned 48 today. 48. 48 years old. Yes. And let me tell you, it has been a crazy ride. When I say a crazy ride this past year, I mean, we've all kind of been going through it, kind of going through the ups and downs. Uh, Everybody's kind of having their moments, I guess you could say. So, you know, I just wanted to kind of get on here. You know me, like I always tell people, my life is like an open book. I have no problem uh, sharing that book with you, the people. Um, my whole thing is if I can help, somebody, I know somebody's going through what I'm going through. It's just a simple fact, you know, they don't have anybody out there sharing their same, I guess, plight, you could say, uh, with them or with the world. You know, your boy Johnny Q. I ain't got no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with sharing the things that go on in my life. So that's why we're here. So this past year has been, they say change your location, change your life. Okay, I've done that. But what's interesting, and you always have to realize this, people, is that you can change your location. And yes, it does actually change your life. But the only thing with that is when you do that, you have to do different things. You can't do the same things you did back at the old place. Because if you do, you didn't really change your life. All you did was change your location. The scenery looks different, but the people you interact with are the same. You're going to end up having the same exact things happen to you, kind of like Groundhog's Day. And for those of you who know me, no, I've lived a lot of places. And, in my early years, I lived in those places because I was trying to run from me. Now, I'll give you a little piece of advice here, people. You don't have to listen to me, try it for yourself, but you can run from a lot of things in this world, just about everything, but you cannot run from you. Because at the end of the day, you're in your skin. And that voice that you hear in your head, you can't run from it. You can drink, you can smoke, you can do all the drugs in the world. But what you cannot run from is you. Not going to happen. So you might as well just get used to it, face it. That's what's called shadow work. When you actually go ahead and face, the quote unquote, as they call them, demons or the dark places or those wounds that put band-aids over, but never took the band-aid off because you were afraid. The human mind will compartmentalize things. The conscious mind, which is only 10%, 90%, which is your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind will have you thinking it's running the show. It's actually not running the show. It's not. So, you know, I've spent a lot of time here, probably about a good 18 months, really delving into who is T Folks? Like, who is this guy? Like, he does this stuff and he helps some people, you know what I mean? And, he's got some stuff going on. So why don't you jump into that? Okay. So that's exactly what I did. I jumped deep into me. And boy, let me tell you, I learned about my lineage. I've learned about deep, dark things. Like I said in one of my other shows, uh, literally some things that I've been carrying around for 30 years. Well, 31 years now, 48. That I've been carrying around for that long. That's a long time to be carrying some stuff around. And then I start to allow the dots to connect me because I'm not connecting the dots anymore. They're connecting me. Things, people, places are becoming more evident on why I deal with them, why I'm around them, why I'm not around them, things of that nature. And, especially over this past year, I've changed a lot to the point where there are people who are now a part of my past that are not a part of my now. And they, for some bizarre reason, seem to think, because they never got a chance to know me, that, I'm just going to stay the same, ho hum. No, no. See, when you start to work on you, you start to realize the things that you can actually go through and make it. I'm an only child, so pretty much I was always raised, of course, alone. I lived vicariously through my friends because they had brothers and sisters and things of that nature. So that whole family dynamic was something that I always saw around me, but I didn't really have for me. Both my parents worked back then, and I pretty much was what's called a latchkey kid. For those of you who are my age or close to my age, you know what that means. That's a completely different Oprah, and I'm not going down that road right now. But yes, I learned how to cook at a very young age. My parents would be at work. I would let myself in, hence latchkey, and I would make food. I would do the dishes, whatever, whatever. So I didn't really have that quote unquote family structure that my friends had. Now, to them, their life was like mad chaotic. To me, I was like, damn, at least it'd be cool to have somebody to bounce some things off of. It was just me. So, when my mom passed when I was, 16, it's interesting when you lose the matriarch of your family, especially in those years and especially being a young man, because a lot of instances happened in my life that I had to go through because I didn't have that matriarch that I could bounce things off of, who would have definitely smacked me upside the head a few times. Like, if you honestly think I'm gonna let you do that, you've lost your mind. That's my mother. All 4'11" of her would completely break her foot off in my ass. Trust me, she's done it. So, so I've gone through a lot of different things, man. Like my relationships have been interesting. My adult life, having relationships, they've I could say I think 5 serious adult relationships, and out of those 5, actually one of them, one out of 5, 1 out of 5. Let me tell you. And that one was in the middle, kind of figures, right? Now, that one relationship was a relationship that I mentally was not ready for because I was an angry individual. I was young. I didn't understand things. You see what I'm saying? But I understood that this was a good thing, but you can't smother something, nor can you keep something that's not meant to be kept. You see what I'm saying? So of course you make life decisions. Now my decisions after that, boy, let me tell you, again, if mama was alive, mama would have kicked my ass. She'd have been like, if you honestly think I'm going to let you do what you're about to do, I will fly to wherever you're at and I will beat you senseless. And she would have had every right to, because in hindsight, of course, uh, those were things, I guess those were lessons I had to learn. And of course, she passed when I was 16, but of course she's always with me. You know what I mean? I mean, just because someone passes, their energy is still there. You feel them, you see things, feathers drop, you find pennies, small things to let you know that they're still around you. So my mother's never really left me per se, just in the physical form, but in energy, she has always been with me. And, I have always known it, but got so outside of it because, of course, that quest for family. I saw all my friends have family, and they had the brothers and sisters thing, and as we got older, they had kids, and they had this whole family thing, and the white picket fence, and the 2.3 kids, and all of that good stuff that the statistics say that you should have at a certain age. Well, you know, you get older in life, and you're like, well, yeah, you know what, maybe I need to try something like that. I think I want those types of things. I want to have a family so I can have my own traditions. So it's not like I'm following traditions of family members. You have a family to start your own family, which means you start your own traditions and you do your own thing. Do you see what I'm saying? It's nice to participate in a family thing, but when you have your, you know, immediate family unit, you kind of want to create your own so that way it's yours and your family's, and you pass that down, and your kids can participate with you and those things, but they also create their own traditions as well. So things evolve. They don't stay stagnant and stuck, and then you try to figure out why you're at a family function and it's been the same family function that you've been to since you were 10. Since you can remember going, it's the same. It hasn't changed, but you're like 50 now. Really? You know what I'm saying? To the point where you don't want to go. See, that's what I'm talking about. You got to switch it up. So, I've spent like I said, about the last year, more than a year actually, but I've spent the last year really getting deep with that. And it's like, okay, Travis, so what is this whole thing? Like, why was it like this push for family? Why did you meet people who had a certain push? Well, again, matriarch passes at an early age. So I had to learn certain life relationship lessons, especially when it comes to women, the hard way. Your boy T Foulks got a rock solid dome, been hit by a car going 40 miles an hour from behind. I'm having this conversation with y'all. Obviously, the head is pretty damn thick. Okay. So I had to learn. Now, they played their part and they did what they did. But see, the thing is, there comes a point when you start to change and you realize certain things are actually toxic to you. And what's bad is those things can actually turn up to be your family members. Those things can turn up to be the closest people to you. And as you're changing, evolving, and growing, if they're not matching that same growth, if they're not matching that same frequency that you're on, what's going on, Charlie? Most definitely. It's the definition of insanity. You know what I'm saying? If they're not matching that, what happens is you have one or two options. Either you can go along to get along and die inside slowly. I did that, I know. Or you can realize that it's actually a very toxic situation and it's causing a dis-ease within you. When you have a dis-ease within you, you will get a disease. Facts. Okay. So by realizing certain things, certain people have become toxic to me. Now, mind you, I may have become toxic to them. Why? Because I had changed. Because basically I'm like, well, let's see, this ain't working. And I know this ain't working. But see, the crazy thing is the mind does some interesting things to you. The 10% of your conscious mind that thinks it runs the show where your ego resides, because there is no ego in your subconscious, it doesn't exist there, will have you stay in bad situations way longer than you should. And I've really been coming to grips in the past year, a little over a year, with those things, realizing that, yes, I played a very major part because I actually put up with it. Instead of me actually saying, this ain't working, this has got to change, period, It was, oh, I'm going to go along to get along. You know the phrase, fellas, keep mama happy. Yeah, yeah. And every day I died this much every day. You see what I'm saying? And, I had to fight with the fact that, like, my ego wants to get angry. My ego wants to get mad. My ego wants to break things and run around yelling and screaming and doing a bunch of dumb stuff. Okay, what's that going to cause? So now I fit the stereotypical mold. Large, angry black man. Now, mind you, to this day, people do things to try to make that stereotype a reality. I'm so far removed from that it's kind of comical at this stage of the game because that's not for me and that's not my path. Unfortunately, they wanted to stay the same. They didn't want to evolve. They didn't want to grow. Now, mind you, family members included, don't want to grow. I got to go because we no longer mesh. And it's crazy when you literally have to walk away from something that you actually still love. But see, you have to realize there comes a point sometimes when what you love doesn't love you back. See, it's supposed to be a give and take in every interaction, people, that you ever have in this world, regardless if it's somebody you know or don't know. There is a energy exchange. You're giving, they're taking, they're giving, you're taking. That's the way energy works. So when that exchange starts to become a one-way street, that's a problem. See, that's a problem. But see, our conditioning, our conscious mind, the 10%, wants to hold on to something so it makes you feel drama and trauma. Because that's what it likes. Because then once you go through that drama or trauma, what the conscious mind will then do, the ego will jump in and will say, oh, you're a victim now. So now you're victimizing yourself. So now you're carrying around other people's baggage. And I had to realize how much baggage I was carrying that wasn't actually mine. So I had to own up to one, the baggage that I had. Okay. No one's perfect. Nothing is perfect. I am not even remotely close to perfect. I tell people all the time, I am Looney Tunes. I came from Toontown. Straight up. And I have no problem with that. Why? Because I'm being honest with myself. Because I'm not perfect. I'm into things a lot of people aren't into. I'm into some things that a lot of people should be into, like self-discovery. But I'll tell you, people, it's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do because I had to actually have that come to Jesus meeting with myself and realize that, okay, Travis, you played a very large role in this, an extremely large role in this. But not only did you play a large role in this, it's okay. You're still here, right? So you went through what you went through to learn a lesson because you got a hard damn head. You proved that already physically. So you got a hard noggin. It takes a little bit for stuff to get through to you. So I had to really, really chew on that. And I've spent a lot of time. Like I should have, once I started digging deep into me, I should have went and bought stock in Kleenex. Kleenex with the aloe. I highly recommend the Kleenex with the aloe vera because basically my nose was raw because I was crying. Yes, I am a big dude. And yes, I have feelings. And yes, I do cry. Ooh. But again, I'm just being real with you. You see what I'm saying? So I really had to come to grips with these things over the past little over a year. So I turned 47 and now I'm 48 years old today. And when I tell you I am a completely different person with a way deeper understanding, overstanding, and understanding of myself than I have ever had in my entire life. So, mind you, the things I've been through, the people that I dealt with, the toxic people of my past, I thank them. Because without them, I wouldn't be the person that I am. I wouldn't have had to do the work on me because I never would have had to. Never, ever. You know? Again, on the last Johnny Quantum After Dark, Shadow War Chronicles, Part 1, or Episode 1, I talked about grieving the living. It's you can grieve the dead because they're dead and they're gone, and physically they're not here. But like I said earlier, just a little bit ago, energy once created can never be destroyed, so they're never really gone. They're just not physically here, and it sucks because you can't hold them and touch them, and you can't cry on their shoulder, and they can't physically hold you, but energetically they're always there. They're always around you. Because trust me when I tell you, the life that I've led, it's way bigger than me, and there were powers way bigger than myself keeping me alive. Because I done been through some things. Again, all situations that I put myself in, it is what it is. So, this last year has been so impactful. And I've had a lot of things happen, and I've gotten a lot of signs like, okay, Travis, so now that you know, you have to do. To know better means to do better. Because once you acquire knowledge and you don't use it, life lessons become a lot harder. A lot harder. So, because then you know better and you know exactly what happened. You know exactly why you're going through it. And then it gives the ego more weapons. It gives the ego more weapons to beat you up. Now, mind you, again, the ego has its place. It really can. It does and can serve a purpose. But remember, the ego only resides in 10% of your brain. That's it. The other, 90% is all subconscious. And that actually should be running the show. You knew you should have went left, but something said go right when you knew in your gut, you felt it. I should have went left. And then you're trying to figure out, damn, and what do you always say? I knew I should have went left. I knew I should have did this. I knew I should have did that. Okay, but the program that we live in states that you should never listen to yourself and always seek outside yourself for some guidance. I thought certain things would fulfill me, when at the end of the day, the only thing that can fulfill me truly is me. Now, everything else is icing on the cake, gravy on the mashed potatoes, call it what you want to. You see what I'm saying? All those things are all extras. But you need to fulfill you. There is no book out there. There is no place out there. It is you who has to fulfill you. Because, see, again, that voice that you hear up in here is coming from inside of you. It's not coming from outside of you. There is no out there, out there. It's right here. So, as I'm digging deeper into me and I'm learning more about myself and realizing that you're not going to get angry. You mean you're not going to rage out like Hulk? You Hulk out, Trav. That's what you do. That's what you do. You punch shit. You do things. That's what you do. Split your knuckles. Trust me. Living in Mississippi, I put a dent in a commercial grade freezer door. Split my knuckle. The guy that I wasn't trying to hit him Because if I'd have hit him, I probably would have knocked his eyeball clean out of socket, maybe even fractured his skull. So I wasn't trying to hit him. But again, I lost it. I was younger then. And that set off a chain of events that was just comical. That was comedy at its best, unfortunately. I lost my job that day. Now here's the ill part. I lost my job on my day off. Anyway, completely different flow. So I know how older Travis, or should I say younger Travis, the old Travis, used to react to things. So now that I come at things differently, people don't know how to react. They just don't know. Now, mind you, I am a nice, loving, caring person. I'll give you the shirt off my back. Why? Because I got another one. I'm not tripping. I'm a big dude. I got some food. I'll give you food. I can afford to miss a couple meals. I'm not tripping. But see, the thing is, I was so used to giving. But I wasn't receiving. Like I just said earlier, everything is a give and take. Every interaction that you have with anything in this world, because everything is energy, is a receiving of energy and a giving of energy. And I'm constantly giving of my energy. I wasn't receiving, so I wasn't replenishing. So at that point, it started to wear on me. I didn't get sick. I started to actually get sick. The hell's this sniffle thing going on? That's not me. See, I was out there trying to save the world. And all I was doing was relieving others of their energetic, emotional drama and taking it on because I wanted to save them. Basically, I was trying to save them from themselves because they had no idea consciously or subconsciously what they were doing to themselves and those around them. So me thinking that I can save the world at that point, thinking I'm going to take it on for them. I'll take those lumps. So I went and became a punching bag to take lumps for other people. When I stopped doing that, people didn't understand that there's boundaries, and like you really can't do that to me anymore. Again, I have no ill will towards any of the toxic people from my past. No ill will. But I now have boundaries. And either you will respect those boundaries or you will go. Exit stage left. You feel me? Because that's just the way it goes. See, people don't know how to respond when you don't respond the way they think you're going to respond. So people thought that I would actually lay down and take things. See, that's what happens when you don't get to truly know someone. And they truly say love is blind, and I thought it was all a lie. I'm going to tell y'all, I am here to preach the gospel on that. It will make you deaf, dumb, and blind. All at the same time, because all the signs are there. You know the guy who flags in the planes? You know? You got a flagger who's got red, orange, fluorescent neon green, and he's waving these flags, but you're blind. He's yelling and screaming in a megaphone. You're deaf. You know, kind of like the old cartoon with the bear who smells food and he's so hungry, he just literally puts his nose up in the air and the smell of the food, literally he floats to the food. Like he's not even looking, he's not even conscious. See? He's just going to the food. That's a problem. That's a problem for us humans in real life. That is a severe problem. Because Once that happens, now you start to lose yourself. That's bad. Because when you start to lose yourself, things like regret start to creep in, anger starts to creep in. Now, either you're going to be angry at the individual or thing or event that made you deaf, dumb, and blind, or worse yet, you start to take it out on yourself. Now, all of a sudden, you've developed anxiety issues. What? So now you got to go get medicated for that. Little piece of advice. Once you start, you can't stop, because once the human body stops producing certain things on its own, it stops producing them completely on its own. Your body is now used to a chemical producing them. So without that chemical, you crash. So you don't have a choice. And you wonder why the pharmaceutical industry runs America. Is that by coincidence? Not even close. Not even close. But that's why the pharmaceutical industry runs America. So as I sit back and I'm like, wow, I can't get angry. But see, what I can do is set boundaries where it's like, look, I don't live on one-way streets. If I lived on a one-way street, I would have been single, never been in relationships forever. I would have boxed out the world. But I didn't do that. See, the thing is, yes, you have bad relationships. We are energy and motion. We are emotion. That's what makes us human. You see what I mean? We learn best through emotion. The best lessons you will ever learn have an emotion attached to it. Now, there's only two actual emotions, and everything else is a derivative of. There's love and fear. And everything else comes off of those two things. That's it. So as you start to go, you now set these boundaries. So I've set boundaries. There are those people who don't like the boundaries I've set. There are those people who have blocked me from social media because I set boundaries. Because basically, you need to grow up, but you don't want to grow up. So you're going to force me to lower my vibration to come to your toxic level. Again, Trav, who was living that go along to get along, I put that dude in a box. He locked up. Don't worry, y'all. I feed him. He's perfectly fine. But he's not coming back out. You're not going to see that guy again. See what I'm saying? But you know how hard that was to do? Because now I am a grown-ass man in my 40s. And now I'm having to literally find me. Who am I? I gave up my sports. Love my sports. Oh, love my sports. Gave up my sports. Gave up my tarot. Gave up my esoteric books. Gave up me. Because I thought that, well, you know, I'll be okay. Me thinking that I was going to be okay again, that was my ego talking. That was not my subconscious. My subconscious mind was like, what the hell are you doing? But my ego, on the other hand, was like, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Keep going down this one-way street. You'll be okay. But the only problem was I was going down a one-way street that ended in a cul-de-sac at 1,000 miles an hour with no brakes. So when your boy T Folks actually came to the end, crash, burn, it hurt. But I'm a man, right? Right? You know, big burly dude. I'm not supposed to have feelings, right? So I'm not supposed to actually care about certain things, and I'm just supposed to be like, oh, get all mad and huffy puffy. Ah. No, that's Neanderthal or Cro-Magnon man. Sorry, I'm evolved man. I'm a Libra. Scales, I balance, I weigh. And I was allowing people and things on my scales that should not be there. But I allowed them to be there. So at that point, I had to weigh it out. But I never balanced them. Or it was never even this. It was always. Do you know what that type of swing does to your emotions? I'll tell you what it does to your emotions. It has you do dumb stuff, or it gets you medicated. And what did I tell you about medication? Beautiful thing about it, it does actually work. Short amount of time. Because the longer you're on it, your body stops producing it on its own. Your body is the most magnificent thing ever created in the galaxy. It will repair itself. You've got everything in you to heal you. In you. Notice I didn't say outside of you. Okay, so if that's the case, then people, let's just think. Why is it perfectly healthy people just come down with stuff out of nowhere? Out of nowhere. But it doesn't run in their family. That's not a freak happenstance. It's already in you, but you did something to trigger it. So now it's been triggered. But instead, you seek outside yourself instead of turning within. Ask a lot of cancer patients what they were like before cancer. And then ask them, are they the same person after they beat it? And they'll tell you, hands down, they are completely different people because they actually let life connect the dots for them. No longer did they let the ego, the conscious mind, connect the dots. See, they allowed their subconscious mind to take over. And they beat it. Notice that there are people who beat it with chemo. There are people who beat it holistically. Either way, guess what? Up here. Because see, if you don't go up here and get right up here with any dis-ease in your body, it will kill you. Lack of replenishing your energy will kill you. And that's a slow death. That's slow. And it's agonizing. Because it's self-inflicted. So I'm living a self-inflicted life. Dude, do you realize how hard that was? I'm a thinker. I think I know something. Dude, like I said, I should have bought stocking Kleenex. I didn't cry so much. But by doing so, I had to cleanse me. I had to literally come to grips with it that I played my part. Okay, can't run from it because I can't run from me. But see, instead of saying I played my part and leave it there, see, you go deeper. And you know what I did? I embraced it. I can't change it. I can't go back. Why would I? Because if I went back, you see, I'm not the individual talking to you right now, am I? No, I'm not. Somebody else perpetrating that I'm me. Because when you go along to get along, you're not you. You're not. You're a shell, walking meat suit. Now, I'm not telling you these things because I've watched somebody else go through it or that I read it in a book somewhere. I'm telling you these things because I lived it. And I share my life again. And I say this all the time because there are other people out there going through what I'm going through. And yet, and still, they go along to get along and they're dying inside. Why would anybody ever want to go through that? Think about it. Think about it. A lot of different philosophies will tell you that the cause of all suffering is attachment. Oh my. Oh my. Now that changes the game. Why do you think the saying was put out there? If you love it enough, you'll let it go. Because, see, at that point, you're not trying to control it. Interesting how that little 10% of your mind that really don't run shit, seriously, will portray that it does and have you trying to control everything. We all know people like that, and that's fine. That's their path. Again, for nor against. That's your path. I now have boundaries. So those one-way streets that Foulks used to be on, like it was a religion, because basically I want to go along and get along. Look here, man. I run on super highways now. Super highways. 6 lanes, each side. Let's ride. Wide open. Why is that? Go down enough one-way streets. See how that feels. See how that feels. One of the things that hurt me the most is I had to ask myself a question that I ask people when I'm counseling. Yes, I have certificates in quite a few things dealing with the brain. Go figure. And by the way, if your shrink does not have a shrink, they ain't shit. I'm just letting you know. Every good one does, because you have to have somebody to confide in, because you have people confiding in you. And those people are showing you bits and pieces of you. So you have to have somebody to talk to that about, even though you're counseling other people. Think about that. Doesn't it make sense now? So I had to ask myself a question that I ask others. Travis, does it hurt bad enough to change? Oh. You want to talk about drop a 6-foot, 320-pound man to his knees, sobbing. Wow. You mean I actually have to follow my own advice? Wait. You mean I actually have to listen to me? I make videos. I've been making videos for years. I went back and watched me talk to myself. Yeah, I did the videos to help other people. I basically helped myself get through myself from videos I did years ago. I binge watch myself as if I did those things to help the now me get through a situation. Now, isn't that crazy? You would think that that's quite odd, right? That's Coincidence. Huh. There is no coincidence, people. I'm here to tell you. It doesn't exist. It does not exist. No. Things happen as they should, regardless. Good, bad, ugly. Good, bad, indifferent. Because again, everybody has their own path. Everybody. From the minute you come out the womb, you have your own path. That path has nothing to do with anybody else. Again, you may run parallel with some people and their path. You might actually cross paths with people. But at the end of the day, everybody has their own mission of why they're here. But most people want to run from it and go seek outside themselves and try to figure out, well, gosh, what if I would have did this? Oh my goodness, it's comical, people. It is comical, But you've got people, and see, here's the beautiful thing about this world that we live in. At any age, you can change. You can still become that person that you've always wanted to be at any age. Wow. What happened to time? What happened to, well, I'm too old for this? Really? There are those who have gone on to great success that didn't find themselves until they were in their 50s and went on to do great things and help millions of people. Didn't find themselves until their 50s. You see, there comes a point where you hit that wall. They like to call it a midlife crisis. Hell, I had a midlife crisis in my 30s. But of course, I just kind of powered through because I'm a man and I'm not supposed to have those type of emotions. And I'm supposed to be strong and, I'm not supposed to beg. Look, even a rock needs to lean on something from time to time. Remember that energy exchange, that give, take, give. Remember that? So the longer you're on a one-way street, it's just no good. So I've been working with that, and have set a lot of boundaries. And there are people who basically don't like them, and I really don't give a damn. So they run around and they tell people things and they say things, hurtful things. That's on them. Again, their soul has to deal with that, not mine. I'm coming to grips and to peace with mine. But see, they're ruled by society. And society says that this is what you're supposed to do. And this is what you need to be doing. And I don't care how you feel. So again, go along to get along and die every day a slow death. To fit into a society that's been broken for hundreds of years. Think about that, people. Just think about that. People so afraid of facing themselves that they won't change. Those people, to me, are toxic. I will not allow those people to make me feel dis-ease because it will not create a disease in me. I'm 48 years old, people. I've been in sales for 30 years. I tell people I'm 48, 48 today. But I tell people my age and they be like, no way. No way. Yeah, way. And I didn't live through some shit. Shot, stabbed, hit by a car going 40 miles an hour from behind while walking. I'm still here. This is way bigger than me, people. Way bigger than anything that I can even fathom. Now, if I were with the conscious mind would be like, oh, well, Travis, you're indestructible, and you just go ahead and do some more dumb stuff to try to test that theory. Look here, man. Eventually, the carbon suit has to go. But the energy, once created, can never be destroyed. So while I'm here in this carbon suit, I want to thrive. I want to raise my energy. I want to raise my frequency, raise my vibration as high as I possibly can. Because by doing that, not only am I helping me, I'm helping other people. Being of service to other people. Being my brother's keeper. Interesting concept, huh? But see, we're so busy in this hamster wheel, chasing something. Little word of advice, people. If you're chasing something, that means it's running from you. Is there a reason why it's running from you? And there's a reason why you can't catch it. And then when you do catch it, you realize, did I really even want this in the first place? Look what this has caused. Really? So is it worth it? Again, everybody has their own mission here in this planet, on this planet. Everybody has their own things that they have to go through. You know, I just so happen to want to dig deep and find mine while I'm still here, and I can still help people the best I can by sharing my life with people who are going through what I'm going through. Because again, everything being frequency and vibration, you're not the only one who's going through the trauma, the drama, the heartache, the pain, the happiness, the joy. See, we're all connected. We all go through it. But are you going to allow people, places, and things to take you somewhere you know and you feel you should not be? Oh my goodness, come on, people. Come on, people. I walked into 3 relationships that were damn near identical. Ain't that something? Again, your boy got a hard head. Hard head. Water, people, stay hydrated. I'm telling you. So I had to learn. So that's why I can't really be mad at them. I can't. They played their part in my movie. I played my part in their movie. They got what they wanted. All of them got exactly what they wanted. I'm just now finally getting some of the things that I want, which is my sanity that I gave away because society says that I'm supposed to fit a certain mold. Really? How's that society thing working for you all now? Yeah. How's it working? How's it working for you? I mean, look, if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. That's an old school saying. I now believe in me. Now, I'm going to tell you, that's a hard pill to swallow. Because, see, when that starts to happen, you hit a point where I now have to relearn me. I have to learn who I am now. I can't go back to who I was, because if I go back to who I was, that was a lesser version of me. So why would I go from 5.0 back to 3.2? But see, that's what people do. You know, we're programmed and trained. You know what? Take a step back. You can see things better. Take a step back. Okay, I'm here to tell you people that was a lie. Because see, here's what happens. You take a step back, you've lost ground. And I'm willing to bet 9 times out of 10, you're going to take another step back. So now you're 2 steps behind. And then there's going to be that third step. And at that point, the ego got your ass. Because now all of a sudden, you're victimizing yourself. And you might never come out of it. That's a tailspin you might not be able to pull up on the stick. Nope, sorry. Crash, burn. Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. See, that's the program. But you have to see it for what it is, because basically that same program will actually allow you to course correct. But do you want it? Because it's work. It hurts. It leaves you vulnerable. You know, again, that bad relationship. I'm never going to love again. I'm going to close off the world. Just me and my dog. Just me and my kids. I don't need anything else. Really? Really? Yeah. Yeah. That's a slow death. Slow, agonizing death. Because basically you're lying to yourself every single day. Because you don't want to change. Really? You don't want to evolve? Really? So you're fighting the whole reason why you came to this planet and to be birthed in the first place. Was to evolve. Was to erase karmic debt. We all got it. We all got it. Everybody's got it. Everybody. Even Ned Flanders, Mr. Super Duper D. We all got it, people. We all have our cross, quote unquote, to bear. All of us. Do you want to do it? Do you? You want to feel it? You want to feel the burn? Do you? Well, me personally, people, at this point, I'm so far down the rabbit hole, I'm embracing it and I'm loving it. And again, some people aren't happy about it. They're not happy about it, and you know, they want to, like I said, block me on social media. Here's the thing, though. Why is it that one person blocks me on social media, but everybody attached to that one person hasn't blocked me on social media? Why is that? Why is that? Interesting concept, huh? See this? It's a phone. It's a two-way device. When you pick up that phone, you can actually conversate. But wait, you actually have to have conversational skills. 1. 2, you can't run forever. Reason being, you don't have to talk to me, but that voice in your head, you can't run from that. You can't. You can't. Those individuals involved, they can't run from it either. They can't. It is what it is. See, we all make choices. And sometimes in life, you have to make hard choices that go against what we're told is the norm or the grain. Well, I'm here to tell you, your boy T Foulks, aka Johnny Quantum, was built to go against that grain. Cut from a different cloth, as they say. You know what I mean? And it hurts. It hurts because, again, it's not that you stop loving, but I refuse to be left in a toxic situation, dying every day, or doing dumb things to get attention, to then let the 10% ego victimize myself? And then people have the nerve then to point the finger at somebody else outside of them without ever owning anything, because whatever drama or trauma the conscious mind, the thing, compartmentalized and packed away to save you from yourself. No, that's not saving you from yourself. It's not. It's not at all. Prime example. Like I told you, I've lived a pretty interesting life. Got hit by a car going 40 miles an hour from behind while walking. Okay. For a long time, my brain said, I'm not giving you access to that because that is just traumatic. Okay. So pretty much without having access to that, I'm stuck in a loop that I can't get out of. And then you wonder why some people are stuck in a loop that they can't get out of, because they won't dig deep enough in themselves to unlock that door and pull all the band-aids off. That's pretty kind of fucked up to sit back, honestly, and be like, wow, I was walking, I was drinking an orange drink that I just got from McDonald's, and the next thing you know, I hear head bounces off a windshield. I fly probably about a good 150 to 200 feet in a median with traffic on a busy main street going on both sides. A foot to the left, a foot to the right, splat. I look like a bug. Seriously. You're like, but why would you ever want to remember that? Because I lived it. I have to get past that trauma. If I don't get past that trauma, I'm going to live in a time capsule for the rest of my life. Did it hurt? Yeah, it hurt, because then I had to relive being in the hospital for a very long time, having to learn how to walk, all the surgeries, the pain, the skin grafts, all that good stuff. All just came rushing back. But guess what? It's no longer a part of me that's locked away. Now that's a part of me that I can draw strength on, that has helped solidify my foundation. That's what that has become now. But, you don't want to relive that. We don't want to take you down that road. Okay. Because guess what's going to happen? It's going to happen again, just in a different way, because you won't recognize it. You won't actually heal from it. I mean, seriously. Again, I have 2 sons, 2 daughters. My firstborn son has my name, Travis Jr. Born 24 weeks. He passed away 47 days later. Taught me a lot about things. Every time I hear my name, I hear his name. Nobody wants to think about that aspect of it, because I'm a man and I'm not supposed to have emotion. I'm not supposed to grieve and I'm not supposed to cry. I'm just supposed to be solid rock man. But see, I made a choice. When he passed, I was going to live, and I was not going to die that day with him. I made a choice then that I was going to celebrate his life, his 47 days, not die with him. I will forever, forever think of him because he has my name. My name. But he's always with me. Again, energy, once created, can never be destroyed. See what I mean? He's here with me now, along with my mother. You see? But, well, that's not really how it goes. Okay. We can get scientific if you want to when it comes to energy and how it's created and how it, once created, cannot be destroyed. That you have enough energy in your body to run a New York City block. You. In you. You ever think we're made of more water than anything else? But wait, what's the planet made of? More water than anything else. Everything is energy, vibration, frequency. Then why is it that certain frequencies can repair the human body? Called sound therapy. Isn't that funny? So these are the things that I've had to kind of go through and get deep with. And I thought I was deep before. I thought before I really went on this journey into me that I was functioning at a high level, and I wasn't. Sorry, y'all. If I kind of had you fooled, I kind of had myself fooled. So, welcome to the club. Now, different story. Because see, now I'm not going along to get along. Now, I actually have boundaries. I don't infringe upon your boundaries, so don't infringe upon my boundaries. If you want to infringe upon my boundaries, that makes you toxic to me. No problem. You can go about your life. See, I'm no longer going to be that person to tell you about yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to deal with you. When it's all quiet at night and you're trying to go to sleep and that voice in your head keeps messing with you, I don't have to say or do a damn thing. See, your subconscious mind will do it for you. So why not just face it? Why not just get it out, deal with it, and grow? But unfortunately, people just don't want to get out the matrix. Call it what you want to, program, whatever. They don't want to get out. They want to stay locked in it because they feel safe and secure. They hide behind literature. Well, I'm not even going down that route because I know a lot of deeper things into a lot of those things. If you actually knew the truth, they don't like me in certain places because I ask certain questions. I'm asking the questions because I know the answers. I'm not asking the questions to see if you'll tell me the truth like I don't know. I'm asking the questions to see if you're actually real about it. And they don't like me. And they didn't realize, your boy's super sonar type hearing. So they don't realize that I hear them talking in rooms and I hear them saying, how does he know this? Where did he get this information? Yeah. Because I made a choice to. And then I made a choice to do things because I was under the assumption that you knew what I knew. And then I came to realize that, wait, I know more about your flow than you do. Because I got you going back to your higher ups asking them questions. And that's getting you in trouble, which makes me, ooh, he can't be here anymore. We don't want to talk to him anymore. He may tell the others. See, a lot of things go on. I'm that dude against the grain. I'm not going with it. I'm left-handed. So you can't tell me I wasn't born to go against the grain. Both my parents are right-handed. Left-handed, but always in my right mind. Kind of funny how that works, right? So these are the things that I've been going through over the past year since I turned 47. But see, now I'm 48 and this is a new year. And in this new year, it's not stopping. Are things going to be hard? Yeah. Are things going to be difficult? Yeah. Am I going to surrender those things to the universe, God, Purple Space Monkey, call it whatever you want to? I sure as hell am. Why? Because they're bigger than me. And the chips will fall where they fall. But I'm not going to traumatize myself over those things. Well, you could do this and you could do that. Before you make assumptions, why don't you ask certain questions? My daddy didn't get out of the fourth grade, grew up in Mississippi. Okay. But the man was full of straight wisdom. He's like, son, if you ask the wrong question, you are guaranteed to get the wrong answer. Oh, that's facts, people. That's facts. See, you got to ask the right questions. And then you'll find out, because people will be like, wait, do I tell them? Do I not tell them? Keep asking. Don't settle. I settled. Energetically almost killed me. Seriously. But of course, I'm hard-headed. So I just push through. We can all do that. We can all draw on the same strength. Again, take your pain, take that trauma, take that drama that you went through and use it to fuel you, to build off of. Because it's not you. Those are building blocks of your past to take you upward. Because you best believe the saying, and it's so true, people, as above, so below, you better have a damn solid foundation. You better have a damn solid foundation. Because either it'll crumble or cave in. Either way, that's not good for you. That's no good. That is no good. Oh, or back in the day, for those of you who are old enough to remember the soup Nazi, no soup for you. Oh, yeah, I'm 48. Yeah, that dates some shit, but I don't give a damn because basically I grew up in a different time, you know, and it's helped me to become the man that I am today. And I'm thankful for that. And I realize that, you know, I need to give thanks more often to people, places, and things, to have more of a overstanding of things, which then helps me understand things. Some of that probably flew over some people's heads. Some of it probably went right between their legs. For those of you who understood what I just said, love to play on words, right? You get it. For those of you who didn't, you will. Trust me on that. Because you're going to walk yourself right into yourself. You know, so I will say this, people. You live your life. It is your life to live. It is your mission. If you choose to be a punching bag, you will attract people to punch that bag religiously. If you choose to allow yourself to be a doormat, you will invite those to go through the muddiest trail on the face of the planet and wipe their muddy ass feet all over you religiously. See, we always want to fight back, fight back, fight back. Okay, if you're fighting back, that means you're fighting, which means something's gonna fight you back. Now, mind you, if the situation calls for you to fight back, you best be ready for what's going to come at you. So be prepared. It's gonna happen. We all have those things where we have to stand our ground. Be prepared. That's it. Just be prepared. See, I had to take this time to get prepared. See now, see now, I'm a lot different animal than I was before. We are mammals. Remember that, people. Human beings, mammals, animals, animals. Gorilla, animals, mammals. Okay, posables. Act like it. we don't act like it enough, and that's half the problem. We allow things to happen to us, and then we crucify ourselves. It's not about that, people. It's not about that. It's never been about that. Never, ever been about that. So you have to understand and really, really, really get deep with you. And you can do it. You can do it. I'm not the first one to do it, and I sure as hell won't be the last. Trust me. Not even remotely close. But, you know, I'm just here to share. I am just here to bring light to. I guess you could kind of say enlighten, uh, if you want to call it that. Because that's why I was left here. Trust me when I tell you. A lot of people know my early childhood because, of course, that was the only time in my life where I actually spent more than 5 years to 7 years in one place. Your boys moved around. Your boy been a lot of places and done a lot of things that a lot of people don't know. I don't regret any of it. Zilch. Because the things that I've done have helped me to understand and helped more people in so many ways that I will never ever know. I talked about raising your vibration. When you raise your vibration or raise your frequency, you're now helping other people just by being around them, just by being you. And you don't have to say a word, you don't even have to know them. But they needed that feel good energy. And that feel good energy was you. See, that's what it's about. Each one teach one. That's my generation. That's what we know. That's what we do. I just so happen to have remembered that's where I'm from. So that's what I do. And people ain't liking it. People ain't liking it. Oh well. Again, they've got to deal with themselves. I put a post on Facebook. There's a special type of hell for those people in their souls because basically they did not face themselves. So you'll be back to do it again. See, I've been here for a long time. Long time. Long time. That's a completely different Oprah, and I'm not going there right now. But I've been here for a long time. This time, see, this time I get it right. And I'm going to be tested. I'm going to be paraded down Main Street, bearing my cross. Look, we all go through it. We all have our own trials and tribulations. But only you can fix them. There's nothing outside of you that can fix them. Anything outside of you is a temporary patch. It's a temporary patch. It's a Band-Aid. And a day will come in which you have to take that Band-Aid off. Hopefully, me sharing my personal life will help others go through their time when they have to bear their cross. Just doing my part, just paying it forward. That's all, y'all. That's all. But I figured, you know what I'm saying, I would come holler at y'all. Love y'all, people. Love y'all. And I don't mind sharing. And this was a very impactful year for me. Hence, I call it a solar return. 360 around the sun. At least that's what they tell us, is 365, whatever. Around the sun. So my solar return, aka birthday. So I just figured I would come on and share. Because that's what I do. You know, whatever resonated with you, take it and prosper. Whatever didn't resonate with you, leave it. Throw it in the trash. But hopefully it got you thinking. Hopefully it shed some light in that dark place that you might be in. I know about that dark place. For me, some days are better than others. But I keep going. Why, thank you, Mel. Happy birthday! You know what I'm saying? So I just figured I'd come on, give my 1 year testimonial. Like I said, hopefully it helps some of y'all. Hopefully. If not, at least it was thought-provoking and I entertained you. Hopefully I edutained you. But if nothing else, I entertained you for the hour and 20 plus minutes that I've been on. So, yes, this will be posted. Watch it as many times as you'd like. Definitely feel free to contact me, jump in the DMs if you want to. You know, I do help people with shadow work, get started in that, because I can only help you get started. You do the work, I don't do nothing. I'm just there to basically help guide you. That's all. That's all. Because see, once you start, you can't stop. Because if you're just starting, how many years has it taken you to get to where you're at? So you think overnight, that's why people go to a shrink and they're like, well, gosh, I've been going for like 8 months and I'm still messed up. How long did it take you to get messed up in the first place? You think 8 months of going to talk to somebody on a damn couch or sitting in a chair is going to fix that? Really? Stop giving your money away, people. You want to give your money away, you give it to me. Look. But see, I'm going to invest it in things to help you fix you, because only you can fix you. There is no outside of you to fix you. Again, do your own research. You ain't got to listen to me. Try it for yourself. But I suggest if you want to go down the path that I'm on, that you go to Costco, Sam's Club, whatever's nearest to you, and get you a pallet of Kleenex, preferably with the aloe. It's good stuff. Okay? Because you're going to cry, you're going to hurt, you're going to yell for no reason, you're going to scream, you're going to have temper tantrums like a little kid. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And then you start to catch yourself before you fall down a trap. You see the red flags. Like I talked about earlier, the flagger who brings in the planes. You'll stop yourself from falling down that same trap. Because the only person trapping you is you. Facts. It is what it is. I had to come to grips. I ran from me for a very long time, coast to coast, quite a long time. Couldn't outrun me, and I'm not going to go along to get along. No, no. It's been real, people. It's been fun, and yes, this past year has definitely been some real fun because I've grown and I've changed and I've evolved, and I'm going to continue to do so. Like it, love it, or hate it, I'm going to continue down the path that I am on because that's why I'm on it. It's for everybody if you choose. If not, you can't really complain too much. That's why I don't complain about the things going on in my life. I have to take ownership of them and realize that some things I have to surrender to a higher power than me. Because I'm still here because of a higher power bigger than me. With the life that I didn't lead. So if you think you know me, and you know that 5-year gap that you met me, or that 7-year gap that you met me, or the 18 years that you know me before I left upstate New York, trust me, I'm a lot different guy now. I have some of the same characteristics. I tried to keep some of the good, but I filtered out all the bad. Still working on some. In all actuality, it's a lot because it took me 48 years to get to where I'm at. So I'll be working on it for a very long time. So you choose to go down the path, buy you a whole pallet of Kleenex. Make sure you've got a good support system. Stay hydrated, people. You do a lot of crying, gives you a lot of headaches and whatnot. You got to stay hydrated. Just saying. But y'all have a most excellent evening. And again, I do appreciate y'all so much for hanging out with your boy T Foulks, aka Johnny Quantum, on Johnny Quantum After Dark presents T Foulks. Basically my year in review. So until the next Johnny Quantum After Dark, y'all go forth and prosper. Peace and love to all. Even those toxic individuals, kill them with kindness. They hate it. They hate it when you don't get mad at them. They really do. But again, thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. Peace.